What is going on, a rock star? How are you? How are you? How are you? Happy Wednesday evening. And in this episode, actually, let me do this. Let's go. All right. And in this episode of Networking with Co's, we are going to talk about 5 ways to know thyself before starting a business. So, if this is the first time you're seeing my face, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Coz. I coach Black women with an entrepreneurial mindset to grow and develop yourself and your business at the same time. So, let's jump into it. All right. So I wanted to talk about this because it is very important that we understand. I'm sorry, like it's just like all in my. All right, there we go. So I wanted to talk about this because you need to know who you are before you start a business, and I think that a lot of you go into certain types of industries not really knowing who you are. And I'm guilty. I've done it. So I understand. However, I want to save you the time and want you to learn how to know yourself before you start a business. So that's why it is called 5 ways to know thyself before starting a business. All right. So, number one is you need to know your your 5 stars, so to speak. And I say stars because I call you rock stars. So that's why we're going with the stars. So star number 1 is who. Who are you? Who are you? And then star number 2 is what do you do? Number 1 is who are you? Number 2, star 2 is what do you do? Star 3 is why do you do it? Star 4 is when do you do it? And star 5 is where do you do it? So I know who I am. I am because I'm a Black woman who coaches Black women in business and life. That's what I do. What? Well, okay, that's who I am. I'm Coz. That's who I'm Coz. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into this, you can go who you were then to who you are now. And that way you can kind of compare, how far you've grown and how far you need to go to become the person that you need to be to start the business that you want to start. Okay. So that's star 1. Star 2 is what do you do? So what do you do? I coach Black women with an entrepreneurial mindset. So what do you do? That's the question. Star 2. Star number 3 is a why. Why do you do it? I do it for the Black woman who needs to know that they don't have to work a 9 to 5. But if they choose to, that's fine. And if you choose to work a 9 to 5 while getting your business off the ground, do that too. But I do it for the Black woman who wants to make a change in their life, in their family's life, in their community, and help lift other Black women with an entrepreneurial mindset up so we can have a network of strong Black women running businesses to change this world. That's my why. Okay. When do I do it? 7 days a week. No, 6 days a week. Sunday is a family day. Where do I do it? Social media and off social media. So, you have to think about that too. Where do you do it? Okay. And are you gonna do it on social media? When you're coaching, how many times a week? You have to get really, really specific. Sorry, give me 1 second. I ate a little almond in my mouth. Okay, so I don't know why. It was like just bothering me. So, but where do you do it? So on social media, on Zoom. Do you do it through Messenger? Do you do it through another messaging application? WhatsApp, um, Slack. What other ways can you do what you do when you do it? Okay. So you want to think about your 5 stars. Okay. And then number 2 is, what is your motivation? What's your motives? What causes you to want to start your own business? And this is where you have to determine, are you doing this because you had an argument with your coworker or your boss, or is it something that you're actually really coming from the heart with, that you're really passionate about doing? And I got my notes because I want to make sure that I hit all of these. And I want to say that when you come from your heart and it's pure and it's 100 and it's just in you and who you are, it's like in every fiber of your being, you're more likely to succeed. Just want to put that out there. You are more likely to succeed. And I know you guys have been rocking with me. You, Rockstar, have been rocking with me for a minute, and you've seen, transformations here, there, everywhere. And it becomes real serious when you start knowing who you are. And, I had to really understand that you can't follow the blueprint that someone else has laid out for you, because it's not your blueprint. It is their blueprint for who they want to speak to. And it's not your blueprint for who you need to speak to. That's why you have to go deep before you go wide, so you can get that understanding and knowing who you are, so you can speak to your ideal client. Okay. And I just want to make sure I hit that. And when you are coming from the heart, because I can go off on a tangent, so don't. I stay on my notes because I don't want to go off on a tangent. We will talk about some things. Okay. And so also, when you are coming from your heart, whether it's a product, service, or idea, you can tell when it's something that you're passionate about. Like, yes, you can be multi-passionate. Yes, you can. I believe that you can be, how do I want to put this? You could be highly skilled in one particular area and be proficient in 2. You could be highly proficient in 1, but you could be proficient in 2. Okay? That's what I want to say. And money is a motive, but don't let it be the only reason why you want to start a business. You can't be You can't be greedy. You can't have commission breath. You can't say, oh, because I want to get breath. It's fine. That will come. But what other reasons are you starting a business? Is it coming from the heart? Do you really want to help people? Do you really believe in your product? Do you really believe in what you're doing? Because if you don't do it. It's not going to come across as you being real. It's not going to come across. So for me, I had to go and dig and do work within myself to understand, who I was, why I do what I do. And I'm going to share, um, so my why has changed. And your why, as you grow and develop, your why will change. It'll get either bigger or smaller. We want it, depending on what you're doing. So initially, when I first started out as an entrepreneur, and this is when I was still in high school. So my so my dad. So anyway, okay. So let's go here. So it's such a funny story. Okay, so we used to go skating growing up. So me and my best friend at the time, we would go skating Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, depending on what was going on. So really skating, you know, $30 maybe or hold me to Sunday. So this particular Friday, I asked my dad for some money so I go skating. And he just had this real look on his face. And he just, he and he like I don't know if he just had a bad day and I didn't recognize it or I really didn't care because I wanted money to go skating. Let's really be honest. So so I'm like, hey, can I get some money so I can go skating? And he paused, he reached in his pocket, pulled some money out, and said, this here, I work for this. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you work for it. Can I have some money so I can go skating? So at that moment, when he said that, I said what I said. And in my head, I'm like, okay, how can I make money so I do not have to ask my parents for money to support what I want to go do? Now, I'm going to say I wasn't at the age to where I could legally work. So you got to get creative. Let's just say you got to get creative with some things in your life. So I got creative and I'm like, okay, what can I do? So let's just say I started charging people, women, who had certain marks, love marks, bite marks on their necks to be covered up. And I started selling candy too. So yeah, been an entrepreneur for a minute. But your why changes. So I just wanted to get you to understand, like, this is something that has been with me since I started. And I want you to, take the time and really think about your 5 stars. Star number 1, who? Star number 2, what? Star number 3, why? Star number 4, when? And star number 5, where? So that all goes back into what's your reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. And then number 3, do you know you? Do you know you? I'm gonna pause right here for a second. All right. So do you know you? Do you really? I just want to look at this. Do you and do you really know how you are coming across? And I take notes, and when I get to writing about a certain topic, and it's coming from me, I get very very long-winded. So, and I didn't go back to shorten it up to like take out my bullet points. I just kind of circled and went through. So it's just really, really crazy. So yeah. How are you coming across? Are you coming across as you? Are you coming across authentic? Are you coming across real? Because when you're not, it shows. And it kind of sucks when it shows, and that means, you're not being real. And that could hurt you. So you want to make sure that when you narrow down what you do, you make sure it's heart centered, make sure it's something that you truly, truly believe in, so you can really help someone go change their lives. This is serious. If 2020 has not taught us anything, it is relationships and family and having more than one stream of income. That's what it's taught us. Let me know if you agree. Put it in the comments below. So, how are you coming across? And then number 4, to thy own self be true. Be true. Do you know what you stand for? Do you know who you are? And this goes back to your morals, values, and principles. Do you have good morals? Do you have good values? Do you have good principles? And then, let's add on the SAS, your strengths, your attributes, and your skill. You have to know this. And this is so huge. When I took the assessment, I have access to an assessment to help you know who you are. Who you are. And that is priceless, to know who you are, to know what you're good at, to know the things that you need to work on to close those gaps so you could be a better person 360, all the way around, full circle. So you want to make sure you know your morals, values, principles, and plus, in addition to your SAS, strength, attributes, and skill. You want to know these things, okay? And you have to be grounded in your MVPs and your SAS. You have to be, okay? And then number 5, stay in the fight. If you are dreaming of becoming your own boss, if you're dreaming about running your own business, and you really believe in being an entrepreneur, this life is not for everybody. Being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. I'm just going to put that out there. It's not. It's not. It's really not. It is not for everybody. So that's why you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are, what you do, why you do it, where you do it, and when you do it. And you have to know what your motives are, your reasons. Your reasons, I look at my reasons every day. If I'm looking at one and talking to three, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at one and talking to three. It really, I'm looking at two and talking to three. Let's be real. Or let's see, I'm looking at one. Let me think about that. I'm looking at one. I'm looking and talking to two, and I'm talking to three. I'm gonna let you figure that out. But hang in there. I love this quote by Les Brown where he says, "Do you know what the richest place on earth is? It's the graveyard, because so many people go to the grave with their masterpieces still in them." Think about some of the songs we never heard. Think about some of the inventions that never were invented. Think about some of the ideas that were never invented. Just think about how many awesome people went to the grave not knowing their purpose in this life because they didn't take the time to do it. Because we shortchange ourselves when it comes to our business and who we are. It's too hard to go and do and figure out. No, it's not. You take the time for the things that you want to take the time for. You spend the money on the things that you want to spend the money on. Now, the only thing I'm asking is, when are you going to start investing in you? That's it. When are you going to start investing in you? I told this story a while ago about a class that I really had to think twice about taking because I think it was like over $500. And in my head, I'm like, that's too much for a class. But then I thought about it again and I was like, I done spent more than that on my own freaking hair. So to think that my hair is more important than what's going in my head is too expensive. That's crazy. So I did it. It's all about priorities and what you deem valuable in your life. So if you deem you valuable in your life, take the time to really get to know who you are before you start a business. And it's okay if you mess up. I did it. I messed up, but I'm back on track because I took the time and I'm still in the process of growing and developing, because it's a constant thing and it never stops. Because when you stop growing, you die. So you have to constantly be growing. You have to be constantly cultivating, turning over the seed, planting new seeds, watering. It is a constant, ever going process for you to be the person that you need to be. And I close my eyes because I'm very passionate about being in business and knowing yourself. It is such an important thing. Okay, I digress. Go far back. Okay. Okay. So let's go back through it. Know your 5 stars. Star 1, who? Star 2, what? Star 3, why? Star 4, when? And star 5, where? Know your reasons why you want to start a business. Know who you are. Know how you come across. Are you coming from the heart, or are you just out here trying to get money? Okay. Number 4, know thyself. And number 5, hang in there. And I want to add on to number 5, when you are surrounded, and I've I've talked about this, but when you surround yourself with a good group of people who are going to help lift you up, really help lift you up and support you, you know it. You feel it. It's not forced. It's genuine. Those are the people that are family. Those are the people who are going to rock with you. Those are the people who are going to check on you. Those are the people in your corner that is going to help you grow up into the person that you need to become so you can be the person that you need to be. All right, I want to know, what else can you add to this list? Put it in the comments below, and I will chat at you later. Ciao.